Hi everybody, Ron Chapman Jr. here, Executive Director of Games for Life, bringing you our Game of the Week number 7. This was a tournament game I played tonight, or last night, depending on... yeah, it's last night, technically. Anyway, I'm about 1800 now, and my opponent is... I think he's right over 1800. So, even match, good battle, and usually I'm playing white in these videos, but in this case I'm playing black. Okay, and here we go. He plays e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to f6. This is actually called the Petrov defense. This is what I play as black against e4. Usually, if it doesn't throw people off, it at least disrupts their usual line of play. So I like it. He takes on e5. I push. He goes back. Knight f3. I take his pawn. d4, d5, and this is all what's called main line or book line. Like this is all. We both did this within just a few seconds because we knew this. We both studied this opening. c4, c6, knight c3, bishop b4. I'm pinning down his knight right there, and so, but I'm also attacking it here, so he has to do something about that. So he protects it with his queen. Queen to c2. I castle. a3. He's trying to push my bishop away. I take his knight, check, takes back with his pawn. I don't know if that's a good move or not, but bishop to f5, I'm obviously kind of x-raying through my knight to his queen. So theoretically on my next move, let's say that he does a nothing move like bishop there. Oops, sorry. That wasn't supposed to happen. And neither was that. Okay. There we go. Okay, so let's say that, again, let's say that on his last move, he puts his bishop there, then I could take his pawn right there, and if he was to take my bishop, I could take his rook. I don't know what this looks like material-wise, to be honest with you. I think I'd be up material, but more than likely he can win my knight. But anyway, so that's kind of what I was thinking with that move. We'll go back a couple. So yeah. So X-ray, but in the game, he actually just moves his queen out of the way, and so now that threat, that whole situation I just showed you is no longer an option. But he's attacking my B7 pawn with his queen now. So in order to do something about that and still keep up my attack, I go queen to E7, which obviously if I move the knight out of the way, it'll be a discovered check. So he blocks with the bishop. I pull the rook under, and actually in this position he's in a lot of trouble, and he knew it too, and so he actually took a really long time. This is a 25-5 game, so we start off with 25 minutes. He probably took about, I don't know, a good 8 or 9 minutes on this move. And here's why he did that. He can't really do much in this position. Let's say that he blocks with the bishop here, then I actually take that pawn, and if he was to take with the bishop, then I just made him straight up. And if take there, sorry. And if he was to take with the king, then I still take the bishop, put him in check, and then I mean, no matter where he goes, I'm going to win this bishop also. And so if he was to have done something else like attack here, I still do the same move actually, and if he can't take with the bishop, so if he takes with the king, same thing, queen, and he ends up losing the bishop. So, and did he have any other? There were no other good possibilities. I mean, if he defends with his queen, actually still would take, and then if he takes back with his queen, I still take. I mean, I go up a pawn in that situation, so. He was definitely in some trouble. Like I said, he saw it and took his time. He potentially could have castled queen side, but these pawns look very, very ugly, which is why I think he avoided that. But that may have been his best option, I'm not sure. In the game, he puts knight in the way, knight d5, with the idea that if I push my pawn here, then he takes, I take, he discovered checks me, and then when I get out of check, let's say I do something like that, I can take here, and I can take with a rook, and then he takes here, and he actually is going to take my rook and get a queen. So he saw that and so did I. We discussed it after the game. It was kind of funny. So instead of that, I just bring the knight out because he still doesn't really have time to get his king going over here like he needs to. Let's say that he takes, I would take back, and then he's in the same situation that he was in a few moves ago where my knight can take that pawn, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble. So in the game, I pull out knight, and he protects it with his pawn. Queen checked. I took a while on this move looking at it. This is a common tactic that you see. And then when he blocks with g3, you take it with the knight. Now he could have put the bishop underneath, and then I would have taken this pawn. He could have taken with the queen, and then I could have gone here for check. He could have blocked, and then I could have done something like this or like that, with the idea that if he takes it with his knight, he gets mated. Or I go here and he does some other move to defend. Then I can push this pawn up and not have the problems I showed you before with the queen and discover check. But anyway, in the game, let's see. In the game, he elects to. I take the pawn with the knight. In the game, he elects to take with the pawn, giving me the rook. And then he takes my pawn. Now he's threatening. Well, he's threatening my knight twice, but it's defended once. So I have to do something with my knight. So I take his knight. He takes back with the pawn, and now that kind of cuts off my rook to his king. I do queen to e4, which threatens his bishop, so he has to protect that bishop. He does so by king to f2. I think that was the only real way he could have protected it. And then I bring my rook over with the idea that I want to bring my rook and line it up here and attack his king. But so he grabs another pawn. I bring my rook up check. He blocks with the bishop. I had a couple ideas here. I could have put the queen here. I could have put the queen here. If you see that, because this bishop right here, is it's pinned down, so it can't take. So I had a couple ideas. My rook is hanging, and that would be checkmate. So whatever I do, I have to make sure that I continue with check. I actually thought about rook taking, and then when he takes back, following up with something like that. But in the game, I went with, I just followed up rook. So now my rooks are doubled, and my attack is still going strong. He takes another pawn. He could have taken that pawn with his queen, and then threatened my queen. I'm not sure. That potentially would have been a good move for him. But so in this case, that bishop is pinned down, so I attack it. He protects with the rook, and then I have a nice sneaky move I like here. Queen to f3 check. That's a cool little move. Like I said, his bishop is still pinned down. Contact check his king. He's got to move his king somewhere. When he does, he moves it to king to g1. Didn't have a lot of options, so I just snatched the bishop for free. Let's check. He gets out of check, moves back. The pin is still there, so I could bring queen over if I wanted to. That would be a possibility. But I actually just take the rook, check. He's got to take back. I take back, check. He goes to the back rank, and rook to b1, checkmate. So I thought that was a really good game. I had an attack early. I always teach my students you have to castle early, because if not, your king can get caught in the center of the board. And that's actually what happened to my opponent this time. His king got caught, but it was actually because I had a good attack. It was kind of indirectly caught in the middle, but ends up that he wasn't able to castle, and through some tactics and not good luck, but through some tactics and playing well, I was able to pull out a victory. Okay, that's game of the week number 7. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.